In 2025, making money in high-ticket sales is not only a lucrative opportunity, but an opportunity that is skyrocketing and growing, which is making it a lot harder for people like yourself who is just starting out, or maybe even someone who's a little bit intermediate in it, to actually break into it and make a lot of money. In this video, I'm going to explain the 5-step process that's an untapped strategy on how to not only get into high-ticket sales the right way, but to also make a lot of money and become profitable in an industry that is booming. So, in the first part of this 5-step process, we are going to start with meta ads and utilizing them to get opportunities.
Alrighty, so here in the ad library for Meta, this tactic is very, very important when it comes down to finding good roles in the setting and closing industry. So what you're going to want to do is just go to United States or any country that is relevant to you. Maybe you're in the UK, maybe you're in Germany, wherever it may be. Put in United States, and then in the ad category, you want to do all ads, and then you want to put in the type of coaching that is specified to what you're looking for. So say you want to be in the fitness coaching industry as a setter and closer, what you're going to want to do is just throw that in there, and then what you're going to see is, wow, 4,800 results in the US alone for people who are running ads for the fitness and coaching industry. Now, what you will see is a whole bunch of different companies: the Muay Thai Kung Fu Academy, DDC Fitness, Susan Garrett's, well, this one might not actually be, but looking through this, you'll actually just see there's a whole bunch of ads when it comes down to fitness and coaching that you could actually just reach out to these people personally, because obviously if they're running ads, that means that they're having a sales and closing, they have a closing team in general. So sales, marketing, whatever it may be, they're putting money into ads, meaning that they're probably looking for setters or closers for their company to sell their product. So it's always good to just have this as a pipeline of people you could always reach out to, send your resume to, send an email to with a Loom video, and kind of getting to the next part of the video, showing exactly what you need to do when you find these people to work for.
Okay, so after using Meta to find the exact opportunities we're looking for, the next part of the 5-step process is to use Loom video through email, sending it to the people that we were actually looking to get in contact with. So what happens in this industry, most people will just find the application and apply and pray that they're going to get hired, when in reality is we are salespeople. We need to be doing a better job at actually outreaching to these companies, showing that we're actually worth hiring and showing that we actually can produce value for them, even if we don't have the experience to do so. So a perfect way to do this is using Loom videos. Loom videos is basically self-recording yourself, maybe with your resume in the background, and actually showing your qualifications or maybe reasons why you're worth hiring. Why this is important is not only are they seeing a paper trail of what you've done in your past, but they're also seeing you. They're seeing you talk as a person. They're seeing something that's more personable. They're not looking at just a piece of paper that says what you could do. They're actually seeing the person who is going over the factors of what they could do with their resume or their past experience, all that sort of stuff. It's so important to actually show the type of person that you are in these videos, showing your personality, showing your energy, showing that you are more than just your back-end resume and your back-end experience. You could be the perfect fit for a company with zero experience if they see that you have high energy, see that you're maybe willing to learn, or seeing that you just want to get started with the right company. Most people will give you a shot, especially business owners or hiring managers that see energy. This business specifically is built off of high energy in the first place. So even if you have no experience, if you show a high energy Loom, then maybe they'll actually give you a chance with a lack of experience that you may have. So a big portion of this is actually explained in detail in salesaccelerator.io, which is my private community where I go into depth about how to find the right opportunities in the coaching and setting space, how to not get scammed, and to actually impress from the beginning so you can get the right job from the start instead of having to work your way up with these scammy deals or deals that don't make sense. And you could just start making money from the beginning with little to maybe very little experience. So now that we've used the meta ads and we've used the strategy of emailing Loom videos to potential clients, now it's going to bring me on to step 3 of my 5-step process, which is networking through LinkedIn. So when you find the companies you want to work for, generally, if you're going to find the right ones, they're going to be well-established ones. Most well-established companies, you can find them through LinkedIn. Now, the reason why I want you to go through LinkedIn is because if you do that, you could actually go to their employees pages. Most people, they use LinkedIn to go to the job pages, see what there is, see if, and like you could just apply for them there, another outlet of applying. Wrong. Don't do that. You could do that if you want to, just as a starting point. But what you're also going to want to do is to go to the employees list. Find out all the other big players that work in the company. Maybe you don't just send a Loom video to the owner and to the manager. Maybe you also send a Loom video to one of the top salespeople at the company. Maybe they'll see that you actually have high energy and they'll go to the owners and say, hey, I got this message from a kid who looks really excited to work for us. And guess what? Chances are, if that guy's talking to you, to their employers, they're not only going to take them more seriously, but if your employers have also seen those videos that you sent to them, and then you're also sending it to employees, and you're also sending it to the receptionists, and you're also sending it to the marketers, now you're starting to get talked about in the company culture. Now you're starting to get talked about in the company. So people are going to be like, he may not have experience. He may not be the most clean cut. He may look a little weird on camera, but he's putting in so much work, or she is putting in so much work to get this job. The least we could do is give them an interview. And then once you get to the interview, you can take it from there, show them all the experience that you may have, or maybe even the excitement that you may have, and it might be a really good opportunity for you to actually get your foot through the door. So once you do all those steps, you should have a pretty solid chance of not only getting a good job in high ticket sales, but you should also have people talking about you, or at least networked with the people who are in the industry who could help you out get another opportunity. But this also gets to the next part of high ticket sales, which is really, really important, because most people will stop here. They'll find a couple companies, they'll do the Loom videos, they'll start talking to everyone in the company, and they're still getting left on red. And they're perplexed. They're like, I've done everything that Sean told me to do in this video. Why am I not getting any success? Because this is also another game of sales. You're not just going to get a job immediately. And sometimes, even in these avenues I just explained to you, they might not even be active on them. Which leads me to number 4 of my 5-step process, which is using every form of communication possible to get into the door. So what this means, it's very, very important, is that it's kind of more of like a mindset training thing. You could be using all these avenues and none of them may be working. They may not even be on LinkedIn. They may not really use their email, personal emails, and you may not know how to get connected with them. So if you use all the strategies, but you keep finding other strategies of getting a hold of these specific companies, this is why I say in the beginning, find 10 companies that you want to work for, because there's hundreds, if not thousands of these coaching companies you could work for. And a lot of them would probably just hire you if they were the lower level ones that might have scam products and so on and so forth. They might not pay you well. You don't want to start with those companies at all. Working at the top and trying to message 10 top companies is going to take a lot of work to get your foot through the door. It's not going to be very easy. They're not going to message you back on the first outreach. And if they do, consider it a blessing. It's very, very hard to get a hold of these people that have these massive coaching companies to take you seriously as a candidate that would potentially work for them. So you're going to have to put in the effort. You're going to have to do that to actually get an opportunity to sit down with these companies, get an interview, and potentially get the job. And that's going to lead me to number 5 too, which is, while doing all of this, you need to come off as different. So this is exactly what I'm talking about through my 5-step process, which is how to come off as a different person. This is how you actually get a job in 2025 in the coaching and setting space. Through the steps that I shared, it will make you not only come off as different, but come off as hungry, come off as a person that is right for the role. You may not even have the correct sales experience to work at a couple of these companies. And even in the interview process, they say, do not apply unless you have experience. However, if you do all the things that I shared in this video, you will come off as different. You will come off as somebody who is not the average person applying. There's a lot of people who have sales experience like myself that have just applied to jobs and didn't do the further, deeper research on like how to get a hold of them. I just clicked applied and hoped that they reach back at me. But there are many people who are not doing the tactics that I shared in this video, that are not putting in the extra effort to actually get hired at these companies. So if you put your best foot forward and you come off as different by just putting in a lot more action than most people do, you are going to get noticed by these companies. And not only that, they're going to give you a chance, even if you have very little experience, you have just some experience, or maybe even if you have a lot of experience, but advertising yourself better is really all you need to do. Just because you're a good salesperson does not mean that you're a good marketer. I hope you got a lot of value from this video on how to get into the closing and setting space. And if you did, please check out my private sales community, salesaccelerator.io, where in this community, I not only teach you guys how to get the right high ticket sales jobs, how to stay away from scam offers, but I also teach people who are either beginning, intermediate salespeople, or expert salespeople on how to break into the sales, closing, and setting space correctly without having to waste so much time and money to do so. Thanks again for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.